Thanks to my inherent insanity combined with incredible curiosity, I affirmed, I robotically affirmed for 11 hours straight. And I want to give credit where credit is due because there's a YouTuber called Zach Weiss who inspired me to do this challenge. He was talking about how he affirmed for 10 hours straight. And I thought to myself, challenge accepted. If he can do that for 10 hours, then I can do it for 11 hours. The only problem that I was faced with, which turned out to be a quite funny problem actually, is that I had quite a busy day. So I wasn't just sitting at home and speaking my affirmation, but instead I had quite a lot of stuff to do, and I had in the evening a dinner scheduled with one of my best friends, which was very hilarious because of my way of affirming. But I wanted to do that challenge. I just wanted to use robotic affirmations in the most extreme and at the same time in a fun and playful way. And if you do that, no matter if you robotically affirm for 1 hour, for 2 hours, 3 hours or 5 hours, in the beginning your mind will most likely be like Gandalf on the bridge. You shall not pass. But after a while, the more you affirm, the more you robotically affirm, the easier it will be for you to really feel yourself into the affirmation. And now you might be saying, Sebastian, what affirmation did you actually choose? Well, as so often, I prepared a wonderful, brilliant, incredible drawing for you. Allow me to get it for a moment. As you can see here, this is you. And no, I'm not indicating that you are on the brighter or bigger or whatever it's called side. I am indicating, no, bright is actually small, right? On the big or fatter side. That's not what I mean. This is you as a robot. I wanted to draw Wall-E, but that didn't work out the way I planned it. So anyway, this is the robot, you robotically affirming. And this is the affirmation that I used. I am rich and wealthy. 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 And this is the line straight to the money. And I know it looks a little bit like a, well, I don't want to say it right now. It should be a bag of gold. So anyway, yeah, my drawing skills are just exceptional. So here's what I did in these 11 hours. I started my day in the morning by waking up and by remembering today is the day of robotic affirmation. And I remembered to then speak in the morning, I am rich and wealthy, I am rich and wealthy. While I was brushing my teeth, I'm rich and wealthy, I'm rich and wealthy. And while eating my cereal, I'm rich and wealthy, I'm rich and wealthy. I was speaking it over and over again until I realized my voice is gone. And then I made the decision to speak it in my mind and to every now and then switch up between robotically affirming out loud and robotically affirming in my mind. Because, well, you don't always have to speak out loud. You can also speak it in your mind. However, as I always say, I tried to my best to feel myself into the affirmations. And this continued then when I went to the gym. I am rich and wealthy. 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 I was not speaking it in the gym too much out loud because I didn't want anyone to think now he's completely lost his mind. But instead, I was just speaking it out loud a little bit, and then I was speaking it within myself again. Then out loud again a little bit, and then calm within myself again. And so I was speaking throughout the day. I am rich and wealthy. 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 Over and over and over again. And I could really feel how after 1 or 2 hours of doing that, I already felt even more rich and wealthy than I already feel. And I already feel quite rich and wealthy. I mean, I went through my manifestation journey from making less than $1,000 a month with one struggling business to now making well over $20,000 a month with multiple businesses. And the exact blueprint of how I got there and the exact manifestation techniques that I used can be found and will be taught from me, and you will then also master them in my Abundance Reality Shift coaching program, which is my 8-week one-on-one coaching program. And if you click on the first link in the description or go to affirmation2manifestation.com/abundance, you can find out more about it. But now let's get back to robotic affirming, because what I experienced throughout the day, no matter if I was speaking and then eventually just within myself repeating this one affirmation, I am rich and wealthy, I am rich and wealthy, I am rich and wealthy, over and over again and I tried to feel myself into them, I just felt more rich, I felt more wealthy, I felt more abundant, it felt good. It began to feel good because I moved away from this typical way of how a lot of people see robotic affirmations of simply repeating them like a robot. I am rich and wealthy, I'm rich and wealthy, oh, I'm so rich and wealthy. That's of course boring, but instead I felt myself into them. I really and wholeheartedly tried to feel what would it feel like to be rich and wealthy? What would it feel like to be abundant? What would it feel like to really, and I mean really, feel these emotions? Because if you don't do that, then it will get so freaking boring and annoying at some point, at least in my humble opinion, because you will just repeat, I'm rich and wealthy, I'm rich and wealthy, I'm rich and wealthy, I'm rich and wealthy, and you think to yourself, that's not really fun, that's not joyful. I believe that the more joyful you are, the more fun you can bring into it, the easier it will be for you to robotically affirm and to at the same time also feel good while doing it. Because I think a lot of people get the idea of robotic affirming wrong. Robotic affirming simply means that you repeat it over and over and over again like a robot, but at least in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I divert a little bit from the official definition, but for me it doesn't mean that you have to talk like an emotional German/robot. You don't have to do that. You can talk in the most emotionally fulfilling way, in the most emotionally stimulating way. I mean, when I did this exercise, I had moments where I put music on and I was then dancing around to it, and at some point I was even listening to Eminem, Lose Yourself in the music, and I was just getting into it while I was repeating, I am rich and wealthy, I am rich and wealthy. And at some point I was then also listening to Lil Wayne and T-Pain, got money, did it. So yes, that's how I did my robotic affirmations. And then in the evening came the crème de la crème of the experience of robotic affirmations, which was a wonderful dinner at a Lebanese restaurant with one of my best friends. And boy, I can tell you, he was weirded out. In the beginning, he looked at me. Are you present? Are you there? Hello? Everything okay with you? Because I was just looking at him and in my mind I was like, I'm rich and wealthy, 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 I'm so rich and wealthy. And at some point I then mentioned that I do this challenge of robotically affirming, and this guy has nothing whatsoever to do with manifesting. That's a complete foreign language for him, and he just looked at me and went like this. Oh. Yeah, do what you have to do. So I continued. I am rich and wealthy, I'm rich and wealthy, I'm rich and wealthy. And I enjoyed my robotic affirming evening with my friend while I was repeating in my mind, I'm rich and wealthy, and tried to listen to his conversation and engage in the conversation as much as possible. Which taught me that I'm actually not that bad at multitasking. But anyway. And now that we're almost at the end of this video, I want to briefly share 3 lessons with you. 3 lessons that have helped me personally to complete this challenge, to enjoy this challenge, to have fun with this challenge. And that's number 1, which is something that you heard me say before, but I want to repeat it again because it's so important. Don't just speak the affirmations, feel them. It's all about combining the elevated emotion with the clear intention, as Dr. Joe Dispenza says it, or as Neville Goddard says it, the feeling of the wish fulfilled with the imaginal act. Always remember that feeling is the secret. Then lesson number 2. Lesson number 2 is that the more you bring physical movement in and the more you enjoy the time by you actively moving, the more fun you will have and the better it will be for you when you complete this challenge. No matter if you do it for 10 hours, 11 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours, doesn't matter. Because if I would have simply sit down on a chair or lay down in bed for 11 hours and repeat that over and over again, I think I would have gone insane. I mean, I'm already a little bit insane, but I would have gone even insaner. And this is something that I wanted to avoid. But by me dancing around, by me going through my day, by me enjoying my life, I enjoyed the challenge. And lesson number 3, choose an affirmation that resonates with you, an affirmation of something that you really want to manifest. I wouldn't simply choose for such a challenge an affirmation like, everything is okay. Everything is okay, everything is okay. Because that's not really that emotionally impactful, at least not for me. But when it comes to something that you want to manifest, like health, wealth, or a relationship, then choose the affirmation that resonates for you. And maybe I'm rich and wealthy is the right one for you, but always remember, the more personal it is for you, the more effective the whole challenge will be, and the results speak for themselves. I mean, I did this challenge yesterday, and today I was making about 800 euros in income from several businesses. So I believe that robotic affirmations, at least if you really feel them and if you have fun with the challenge, can be an amazing adventure and can be fun to use and can lead to incredible results. And yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you today. And of course, if you want to find out more about individual coaching sessions with me, but also my Abundance Reality Shift coaching program, which can lead to a lot of abundance for you, then you can go to affirmationtomanifestation.com/abundance, or you can simply go to affirmationtomanifestation.com/coaching to find out more about the individual coaching sessions. And you can find both of these links in the description. And now all I have to say is subscribe, hit the notification bell, at least if you enjoyed the video, and then watch this video that's somewhere floating around here, because YouTube says that you will really like it, and I'm sure you will like it. And by doing that, you signal to the algorithm that you enjoy my videos, and the algorithm says, yep, let's show that German to even more people. And of course, I would be incredibly thankful for it, and I'm sure you will also enjoy the next video.